Good morning, Bix Weir, Roota.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee, tea today. Yes, this week is the beginning of week 2 of my 3-week cleanse, raw food cleanse. Last week was all raw foods, whole raw foods like vegetables, nuts, and fruits. I did pretty well, actually. I survived it. I feel a lot better. The mental clarity you get when you do something like this is amazing. I don't really feel weak at all. But then again, I was eating food, so you can eat as much fruit and vegetables and stuff as you want. Um, you eat probably a normal amount of food. This week, we move on to smoothies. So I take everything I was eating and I put it in a blender, basically. Um, and so it basically, I think the idea is, you've got the whole idea is to flush your bodily organs of all the toxins, and eat the things that humans, nature provided us to eat anyway, not the processed food, and nothing cooked, by the way. No cooked food, just raw. Uh, the diet does, well, it's not a diet, it's more like a protocol, uh, does allow for raw fish. So ceviche, oh, well, now I could put ceviche in a blender, so it's probably not as good. But so this is week 2, and it flushes out your liver, your intestines, your kidneys, your organs, everything. I mean, in thinking back in my life, and there's no alcohol and no caffeine. That's why I'm on tea right now. And thinking back in my life, this has probably been overdue for since I turned into a drinking, bad food eating kind of guy 40 years ago. I think I started drinking when I was 15. My whole family's in the booze business. Winery. My dad owns a winery, or not a winery, a vineyard, and sells his grapes to winemakers. My brother's in the booze business. Both my brothers are in the booze business. So, yeah, uh, alcohol has been part of my life for 40 years. And it is interesting to feel how it feels without it in my body. We will see. So this week is smoothie. Basically, it digests the food for you, and you put it in your belly, and it continues the cleanse. It cleanses all your organs and your small intestine, your large intestine, and helps it absorb the nutrients of real food. And that's what I'm putting in the blender. No powders, no nothing, but real food, vegetables and fruits and nuts. So I'm on the smoothie side. And Bitcoin Ben, if you haven't seen our discussion yesterday, go to Road to Roota YouTube channel. Ben and I had a great discussion about cryptos, about life, about everything. Go check that out. And love that guy, Ben. And we're going to do a lot more together in the future. That's a plan because he's fun to hang out with. And we're spreading the word of freedom, of cryptos. I'm going to get him on the silver path. I know he's kind of already on the silver path. I don't know how much on the silver path he is. I see huge things coming down the pike for silver on the industrial side. As technology improves, remember, silver is the number one um, necessary component of a high tech future. It's the best conductor of electricity, and that's what high tech futures are all about, electricity. And there's all kinds of things being worked on right now on new energies. It's not new. We've probably known it for 100 years. It's just been suppressed. So suppressed energies are really going to help skyrocket the value of and break silver out of the hands of the cabal. The value of silver as far as a use case and as far as price. If the COMEX and LBMA ever shut down, which I believe they will, again, the JP Morgan trader that is turning state's evidence against Blythe Masters and Jamie Dimon, his sentencing was delayed until December. So getting past what I think is the chaos time coming in the fall. So yeah, hang on to your silver. If you have any pennies left, get some. If you have an ounce of gold today, you can trade 90. You get 90 silver ounces for 1 ounce of gold. That is insane. This is how the in game works. They make it so outrageous that everybody forgets about silver. And then one day, boom, silver's gone. And Apple Computer and Dow Chemical and everybody who consumes silver rushes in. Mega trillions of dollars rush in to find physical silver because they kept the price so low. All the smart people gobbled it up and hung on to it and won't release it until silver hits $700-800. And it's trading at below $15 right now. It's been a long time coming. In Cliff High's data, I think it has $600 silver, $600 to $800 silver. And for Cliff High, it was always, the longer this stuff is in the data, the bigger the impact it will be. So yes, $600 silver would have a huge impact on people who have invested in silver, obviously, but also on big corporations that have to have it. They have to get their hands on that silver. That's why they have a Silver Users Association. Is there a gasoline users association? Is there anything? Is there any other users association of a commodity? No. The Silver Users Association was put together so that the big corporations who absolutely need silver can keep the lid on the price of silver so they can implement it into the electronics and other things that they send out there, solar panels. And a lot of people say, well, Bix, it's the law of supply and demand and diminishing resources. And, as the silver price goes up, more will be mined and they'll just, we'll recycle a lot of silver. You're not going to recycle a lot of silver. I'm just telling you right now. All the silver that's easy to recycle is recycled, the photography type silver. There's not much of that left anyway. But you basically, silver has been cut into little teeny bits and put into cell phones and computers. And they have absolutely started to process old electronic gear. But the vast majority of silver is gone and will never, ever, ever come back at any price. I do believe, and it's in Cliff's data, that people start rummaging through old junkyards for the little micro bits of silver that they can find in thrown away electronics, flat screen TVs, and you'll be going through your garage and looking at all the electronic crap that you have down there, or there in your garage, your old printer and all this stuff, and say, oh my God, there's 1/10 of an ounce of silver in there, and silver's at $10,000. That's $1,000 sitting in my garage. Things like that are going to happen. So just be ready for it. So yes, absolutely, you should have silver to supplement your crypto portfolio as an investment for industrial purposes. I think it's pretty obvious now that the cryptos will be the form of money and the means of exchange. But silver is absolutely required in the high-tech future that we're headed towards. So get yourself some silver. All right, here's a really cool email I got from one of my followers in Australia. And it sounds like he's been a follower for quite a while. But it was he was writing a note to his friend who he's trying to explain the road to Roota theory to, the Roota's take on what's happening right now. So I'm going to read it to you. And this is what he said. Hi, I'm not going to tell you the names of the people. And this is from a guy in Australia. The banks will collapse. Deutsche Bank is set up to take them all down. I only found this out that the now head of the Fed, Jerome Powell, had a hand in making Deutsche Bank the derivative trigger. Silver will return to fair value, and I'm betting parity with gold is extremely likely. The work Bix Weir has done keeps coming true. He just happened to be on the Fed's website on the 1st of January. The year escapes me. That was 2007. The cryptic comic book they launched that day with a giant red exclamation point on the last page. It was actually on the website. It wasn't on the last page. It was right next to where the link was. But I'll just keep going. Which was removed a little later. Tells the story of how to return to a sound monetary system. Bix was so spot on with deciphering the comic, he is now a character in the later comics called Glix. Yes, I am a character in a Fed comic book. There are good and bad guys at the Fed. Frank and Powell are what Frank. Oh, Frank is his buddy. Powell was certainly picked for this job. Absolutely. All the info you could ever want on the Fed, gold, silver, cryptos, etc. is on the private road subscription in the form of written text and YouTube videos. It does come at a cost, Australian $4.34 at the moment, which gives you a year subscription at a very important time in history. Certainly the biggest event you will ever see. You also get a Road to Roota numbered silver 1-ounce coin, one very token on a paper wallet, and his life's work, which will go down as being the only one who got it, who was on target. It's like I'm writing a commercial for Road to Roota, huh? No, I swear, this is word for word. A guy sent me this. He said, I sent this to my buddy. He goes on, I'm going to join once Litecoin takes off. I asked for my coin to be the same as my skydive license, and they gave me the license number. These coins are in very limited supply as they are only given to subscribers. There are probably only 2,000 double striked. Yeah, I think a little less than that, but it is not limited. But it is only for private members. I do not sell them outside. So if I have over 2,000 at some point, yes, I will go have some more coins made, but they will start at number 2001. There's a lot of free stuff. For a taste of the content, search the site roadtoroota.com. Bix's resume is perfect for all that is happening. A mix of everything he does, the due diligence, that's for sure. He dives in deep on crypto and the team behind it and gives you his top picks, etc. Attached photo is from the coin and the character Roota. And he says thanks, and he signs his name, and then puts this really zoomed in picture of Roota right off the coin. That's really cool. It's like ultra zoomed in. I love the detail because Roota's small on that coin. Here, I'll show you what the coin looks like. But yeah, Roota is small, and that's a really good zoomed in picture. That's how big Roota is on the coin right here. And see the numbering down there. There's the Cave of Gold. Really cool stuff. If you want to subscribe, roadtoroota.com. Go to hit subscribe today. But check out the ultra zoom. It looks really cool. Look at the detail on that. Yeah. I'm gonna have some more of these made once I run out. Absolutely. But they're all numbered and double striked, and they are the coolest coin. I mean, Chris Dwayne's Freedom Girl is right up there. But I think I overpassed him because I'm a little more soft around the edges. Chris Dwayne. Yeah, I know. Anyway, I want to go through Zero Hedge because there's just so much going on. I haven't done a Zero Hedge run in a while. So I'm just going to go down Zero Hedge. I'm going to tell you what the Road to Roota theory is on this stuff. 1-2 trade war and Fed policy punch may trigger correction. Absolutely. Trump is working with the Chinese to help destroy the system. This is all going on in the background. This isn't about trade wars and all that. It's the idea is we can destroy the system, take out the bad guys, and move forward with a different kind of system. So it's all being done on purpose. Amazon faces new pressure after U.S. antitrust agencies revamp oversight. Bravo. Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Google. They're all in the sights of the good guys. And it's mainly because there's a lot of bad guys in there doing bad things. And those are the people we need to remove. I'm hoping on YouTube, because they've demonetized or absolutely shut down and removed many of my videos, I'm hoping that they just replace management. Because we all put a lot of work. All the content creators put a lot of work into their YouTube channels. They've got the subscribers there and the followers. I get it. I get why they stick with YouTube, because it's a lot of work to build that. But at the same time, if YouTube is going to restrict freedom of speech, it really does narrow down what we can talk about, and it helps them. It helps the bad guys drive that narrative. That's why I created a Patreon channel, Road to Roota. Go over there for the stuff I can't post on YouTube. All right. Yeah. Now it gets interesting. Traders warn gold's move impressive and significant. Yes, I do think gold will go up massively with the crashing of the old system. No doubt about it. It's not going to go up as much as silver. Right now it's 90 to 1. I mean, it's like free. 1 ounce of gold. Walk into your local coin. If you have 1 ounce of gold, walk into your local coin shop, swap it for 90 ounces of silver. They'll probably give you like 85 ounces of silver. Swap it out, and because silver is going to do a hell of a lot better than gold. The reason is they're not equally manipulated. Silver is massively more manipulated because it's so much more important due to the industrial side. So, and gold has new competition in the cryptocurrencies as a means of exchange. That's what Bitcoin wants to be now. So it is, they're fighting for the top spot. Who's going to win? I don't know. Probably both of them. Which will do better? Probably Bitcoin. I'm sure Bitcoin will do better as an investment. All right. I'm just going to pick out things I want to talk about. 90% of catch and release illegals fail to show up for their immigration hearings. Yes, it was a crisis on the border. It always has been. But the bad guys wanted to open the borders, and we've seen it in Europe. Sweden has been destroyed. Goodbye, Sweden. If you live in Sweden, and it might be the reason might be something more sinister in the background, getting all these African migrants to move up to Europe, thinking they're going to have a better life, and then the ice age comes and destroys all of Europe, and everybody moves down south. I don't know. That was somebody told me that theory. I'm like, well, Cliff does say we're going to have a mini ice age, and that is coming. Clearly, the climate change has changed. You don't hear global warming anymore. That narrative is gone. Now it's climate change. But the climate is changing. It's not people doing it. It's natural evolution. And we're in a different part of the solar system. We're going up the backside of the Milky Way, and it's a lot more dense, the material. I've talked about it a few times. Check out my old videos if YouTube didn't delete them. Blaine, the question is, who replaces China as new supply chains emerge? Mexico would have been one of the picks, but Trump is now going for the jugular. India, not a chance. Too much inequality and bureaucracy. Brazil, forget it. Southeast. Yeah, if China doesn't supply our stuff, hey, USA. This was always the plan. Use everybody else's materials first, including their labor, until the US dollar is destroyed, and then close our borders, bring everybody home, and you've got all this gold in the ground, oil in the ground. There's so much oil in the United States because we used everybody else's first. Gold, silver, everything. That was the whole concept behind the Federal Reserve in the 1920s and 30s. We shipped all our mining equipment to Russia. We shipped all our mining equipment to Russia so that they could mine the crap out of Russia and send us the end product. Because we knew at the end of the day, after the fiat money system ends, we're going to need stuff. And that's where we're going. So yes, the USA, you got to start making your own stuff. Sorry. It's the best thing for the world. We in the United States have been abusing countries around the world for resources. We have been soaking up their natural resources. Everybody's going to be mad when the truth comes out of what we did. It had already came out. Read John Perkins' book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. You'll understand just how bad we were and still are. So we need to bring all our troops home. Hey, there's nothing wrong with the United States. Let's put our troops on the border. Truthfully, when this all falls apart, the people from Mexico aren't going to want to come into the United States. As a matter of fact, a lot of the people in the United States are going to go into Mexico to get the silver. That'll be massively valuable. It'll be a reverse migration out of the United States into Mexico. And that's when Mexico says, okay, we'll pay for the wall this time. Because they'll be the richest country in the world with all that silver. Mexico was destroyed by its leaders. And it's insane. Over 33% of all the silver that's ever been mined has been exported out of Mexico. That's insane. Where's Pancho Villa when you need him? Let's see what else. Yeah, his big cruise ship slammed into a dock. It's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, it's like nobody got killed. Like 4 people got hurt. But yeah, dude, you can't stop one of those when if the motors aren't working, the engine isn't reversing or whatever they were supposed to do. Something broke and just crashed. It's pretty cool to watch. Go to Zero Hedge. Quote, if you were rolling your eyes at the equity melt-up, what a vengeance. It turned out we were wrong about the imminence of a U.S.-China trade deal. So wrong, in fact, that the spat has morphed into a tit-for-tat of further tariff hikes and company restrictions. Again, this is all being done on purpose. Trump knows exactly what the consequences of a trade war are. The destruction of globalization. The destruction of globalization, as Greenspan wrote in the FT after he got out, would be the end of the monetary system. That's the plan. It's always been the plan. Keep an eye on Deutsche Bank. Google shares slumped 3% after tech giants weakened from hell between the news of the DOJ antitrust investigation and mass cloud outages. Those, by the way, the Google outages this weekend, it was cover up. It was burn and destroy. If you store anything important in the Google cloud, get it out of the cloud. You cannot have stuff in the cloud because poof, they can make it disappear, especially if it's damning to them. And say, oh yeah, it was all, it was the outage that caused it. Who knows what was destroyed in that outage? I'm just saying. Sea of red for global markets as traders brace for recession. Now, listen to me. We are at a point where a recession, depression, collapse is coming. Companies have to be as strong as they've ever been to survive it. Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank has never been weaker, ever in the history of that criminal bank. And they are the ones that Jerome Powell dumped the derivatives on in the 1990s. When Deutsche Bank goes, the derivative bubble goes. When the derivative bubble goes, poof, all the large derivative players and small derivative players go. When those go, all the other banks go. All the mom and pop banks. Nothing can survive the derivative collapse. Warren Buffett called it. It is a weapon of mass financial destruction. You will not be able to pay. Visa won't be running. All that stuff. That's what has been planned for. They're trying to do a smooth transition. They will probably make a global announcement. All the leaders of Russia, China, and the U.S. will all get together on a podium. Those are the three biggies. And say, okay, we know the chaos. There was mass chaos, mass problems. There's a lot of criminality. We're going to clean it all up. The question is there going to be so much chaos that it destroys society? Will there be civil wars? Probably, to a smaller extent. There will be protests like you wouldn't believe. And there will be no police to police the protesters because they're in on it too. They lost all their money as well. Mass chaos. That's what they've been holding off for over 100 years. I think it's coming to a head. We'll find out though, right? They're probably going to say, we need more time, because they've always said we need more time, but there's no time. Somebody had to deal with it. And if we were a responsible generation, we would take care of the problem now and not give it to our kids. That was the big idea of this economic theory back in the 1960s called the Golden Rule theory of economics. And it has to do with the Road to Roota theory. The Golden Rule theory of economics says that no generation should put their children in debt. That's basically it. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Don't go into massive debt to destroy future generations. And what have we done over the last 100 years? Massive debt. Unrecoverable debt. Debt is the biggest problem. So it will be a good thing that all debt gets destroyed. But then people say, well, who owns my house? Well, who owns your house right now? Well, it's the bank. Is it the bank, or does the bank just take the payments and they put it in a mortgage-backed security? Absolutely they did. And was there any corruption in those mortgage-backed securities? Is there a clean chain of title? No. So who owns the house that you live in? You would, with no mortgage. Pretty cool. The people who get it off worse, people end up worse is those who did it right and saved and kept their money in like a mutual fund or in a cash account at Schwab or Fidelity. That's if everything falls apart. it's hard to see how they can get out of the derivative mess and keep the other companies going strong. But we will find out. We will find out. Any way you slice it, it'll be mass asset destruction and debt destruction, which is good. The debt destruction. Trump calls for AT&T boycott to force big changes at CNN. Wow. Trump is just like pulling every lever to destroy the economy. Bang, 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 bang. Like I said, the idea is to destroy the old system and build something new. All right, let's see if anything more exciting jumps out. Julian Assange. I think he's turning state's evidence for the good guys. So that's my take on it. I don't think he's going to be tried for treason or tortured or killed. I think he is absolutely turning state's evidence, working with the good guys, probably on the new Kinley Island. Kinley's gone now, but who knows? And here's the final one I'm going to end with. It's all fraud, deceptive edits found in the Mueller report. Yeah, I read that, the Mueller report. They absolutely cherry pick. There's one part where it looks like in the report that it was a phone conversation where it's one of their main reasons why Trump obstructed justice. They removed a lot of the discussion. All the stuff that was saying, hey, I don't want to break the law. I don't want to go over the bounds. I don't want anything there. They removed all that. It is shocking that they, well, it's not shocking to me. They're all in cahoots. They're going to jail. They're going to jail. The Mueller team, the whole Mueller team, will be prosecuted as well, I believe. Keep an eye on it. Anyway, if you want to join the Patreon group, go to roadtoruta.com. There's a great article on, was Deutsche Bank failure part of the plan? It's a video. So go to Road to Ruta at Patreon and become a Patreon member. Or if you join the private Road to Ruta, you get all the Patreon posts. So you go to the member area right here, very top. All the Patreon posts are right there. So you don't have to join the Patreon channel if you are a Road to Ruta member. Otherwise, Patreon channel is only $10 a month. And if you get the Life app, you can save $10 a month and then use it to pay for the Patreon. I posted that the other day. I'm like, hey, that works. And then I got which cryptos I like. I analyzed quite a bit of crypto. 15 cryptos for the future, how 35 cryptos will perform in 5 potential economic scenarios. That's a huge chart of like, if this happens, then this will probably happen and things like that. Anyway, go to roadtoruta.com, subscribe today, and you'll also get the coolest coin ever, the Roota coin, and one Veritasium token. Veritasium, that secret company that nobody wants to talk about because they know it's going to be bigger than Bitcoin, maybe. Bix Weir. I'll talk to you guys later.